Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gonzaga University. And be honest, doesn't dinner taste a little better tonight when we've got Zag basketball on deck for you? The Zags unbeaten. They're hosting the Howard Bison out of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Welcome inside the McCarthy Athletic Center. It's great to see everyone again. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, Richard Fox. A lot new this year for Gonzaga, but so far it seems like the same old story. It appears that Mark Few has himself another good basketball team.
Yeah, particularly defensively early in the year. They got a good test last Friday. They're going to get another good test today, Dan, particularly in the backcourt.
Yeah, they had a great test against Texas Southern, but it doesn't compare to the test that they're going to have with Howard's backcourt tonight, led by freshman R.J. Cole out of famed St. Anthony's in Jersey City, New Jersey. That young man right there, 25 points, 7 assists per game through his first 2 games, and it's not against easy competition. Against George Washington, and 27 points with 8 assists and only 1 turnover at Assembly Hall in Indiana. Those are some good numbers. Gonzaga's got to take care of him.
Yeah, and that gets us to Uncle Cy, right? Silas Melson, the senior guard now for Mark Few. He's got to handle this guy.
Yeah, if not the best, definitely one of the best perimeter defenders on the West Coast. He's going to have the assignment tonight against R.J. Cole. Did an excellent job on Friday against Demontre Jefferson of Texas Southern. Jefferson ended up with 20, but really had to work only 6 of 15 from the field. Silas with 3 steals, did an excellent job pushing in transition, and he struggled from behind the arc, only 1 of 5, but did a nice job late getting into the paint, getting some easy buckets.
It's going to be a fun season in Zagville. Don't sleep on the Bison. This team can score the basketball. R.J. Cole is up against the Zags. Starting lineup. Tip-off. That's up next. Quest Resort and Casino. Northern Quest is your ultimate destination for fun. Experience true Vegas-style gaming. Stay in a luxurious hotel, see a spectacular show, and eat in the finest restaurants all under one roof. Visit northernquest.com today to learn more. And the beautiful evening lights of Spokane, Washington, the home of the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Popped up 1 spot in the national rankings after that opening win against Texas Southern. We begin tonight with tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Numerica. Zag fans, show your Bulldog pride with your Go Zags debit card only at Numerica. And we start with the Bison of Howard out of Washington, D.C. There you see R.J. Cole, just a freshman, scoring 25 points a game. Mingo Williams, Jones, and Cameron Lewis, his cohorts, as they come all the way east to play the Zags. There's their head coach, Kevin Nickelberry, in his 8th season. But he has found himself a scorer in R.J. Cole, so we'll have to wait and see how the season plays out for the Bison. For Gonzaga, Perkins, Melson, Corey Kispert, the talented freshman, Jonathan Williams, and Killian Tilley in the starting lineup tonight for head coach Mark Few. I tell you what, this building, the fans, the energy, it's in mid-season form.
Oh, without a doubt. This Kennel Club has come and brought the energy, and tip-off hasn't even started.
Time now for tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino.
Well, Gonzaga needs to take advantage of their size on the interior. That's both Killian Tilley and Jonathan Williams. Howard has only 1 rotation player at 6'8" or better.
Yeah, you got to defend the 3-point line. They shoot a higher percentage from behind the arc than they do at the rim.
There's a good look at the entire court. Both teams, Howard in their road blues, Gonzaga in their home whites, and Josh Perkins sporting that headband. Had the ball and he got it to Silas Melson now. There's Kispert into the corner. The deflection out of bounds. Stays with GU at 20 on the shot clock.
And we're going to see a lot of this tonight. Howard plays probably 95% or more defensive possessions in a zone. Gonzaga must do a good job attacking gaps, quick ball movements, quick decisions when you catch it. Don't just hold it.
Kispert, there's Nelson. Silas, Josh Perkins, open, bang.
And that's the quick decision. One dribble, attract the secondary defender, skip. Josh Perkins do what he does best there, just catch and shoot.
He is turning into a premier jump shooter, isn't he, Dan?
Well, Coach Few has been telling him now for over 3 years, your strength is shooting the ball. You don't need to try to break the defense down time and time again. Be a solid point guard and be ready to shoot on every catch.
Charles Williams missing that opening shot for the Bison. There's Jonathan Williams up. Still battling, got it back, shot away, and he's fouled. He'll shoot free throws. And an important opportunity now for Jonathan. Both free throws, guys, gets him to 1,000 points in his career, a short career at Gonzaga. That's a big number, isn't it? It's a big deal.
Well, it includes his time at Missouri, but that is absolutely a big deal. 1,000-point scorers in college is nothing to shake your head at. He has started every game from his freshman season at Missouri till now at Gonzaga. It shows you the consistency that he plays with.
And we jinxed him already.
I'm shocked he missed it, Greg. I wonder why.
There you see his career numbers, Richard.
Just a tremendous career. I mean, quite frankly, he was pretty good as Kispert gets the offensive rebound. You know, Jonathan was pretty good at Missouri, but when he got here, you see it time and time again in this program, guys take advantage of that redshirt year. Jonathan got better during that time. Last year set career highs in field goal and three-point percentage. He's poised to have a great senior year.
And now, going to the free throw line for Howard will be Cameron Lewis, a junior out of Buffalo, New York.
Cameron solid against Indiana. 4 points, 9 rebounds. That's what he's going to do. He's going to park himself in the lane, hope to get some easy points off offensive rebounds. He does a nice job defensively. This is a team that struggles. You talked about it, Dan. They don't have really any size, let alone depth on the front line.
And we saw that on that first possession for Gonzaga. 3 offensive rebounds already. And when a team is in a zone, it can create blockout mismatches or opportunities to miss a blockout. Gonzaga took advantage on that first possession.
1 of 2 for Lewis, and it's a 5-1 start for GU.
And Howard will also occasionally go into a 2-2-1 three-quarter court press, not necessarily to create turnovers, but just take a little bit of time off this clock for Gonzaga.
And it's poked away from Tilly. Back come the Bison. And there's Cole with the ball, gave it to Jones, and back to Cole now. And you see Melson and Williams right there to stop the ball. Poked at by Tilly. Lewis, awkward shot from the top. Got a hitch in the giddy up there.
Hitch in the giddy up is right. Probably not the shot that Coach Nickelberry wants, but you can tell already that Gonzaga is really focused in on pick and rolls with R.J. Cole. The bigs, whether it's Williams or Tilly, are going to hang on just a little bit longer on that hedge and make sure they corral the ball handler.
It's going to be a busy night if you're a front court player for GU. It's going to be important that you hedge properly and you stay long enough to let the primary defender recover.
Absolutely.
Again from 3. He's 2 of 3 to start the game. It's 8-1 Gonzaga.
And these are shots that these are looks that he could have had last year, but too often, Josh, the reality is that team was awfully good as the ball goes out of bounds and stays with Howard. So he passed up some looks he probably should have taken. This year, GU can't afford for him to turn those down. It's been nice to see him start the year assertive.
Well, Coach Few is always preaching to his point guards, bring the ball up the court as a point guard. Once you get rid of it, think like a basketball player. Think as if the second you catch it, if you're open, let it fly. That's when Josh is at his best, and he was darn good against Texas Southern the other night.
Number 11, Kyle Foster, into the game for Howard. He's guarded by Kispert in the corner. Here's Cole with a dribble, left-handed shot away, no good. Tipped around, grabbed inside, had it. Lewis lost it. Now the battle in the corner. And Howard with a new clock and an opportunity. Here's Williams. That rimmed out. And Rui Hachimura into the game for GU with the rebound. Here's Melson in transition. Up strong. He'll shoot 2.
I love that throw ahead there on the break, but then better than the throw ahead was the attack off one dribble by Silas Melson. In years past, he would not have searched out the contact and tried to finish through it. That time he did, drawing himself 2 free throws.
Well, I think it's going to be critical for both Silas and Josh to get to the free throw line. Last year, both of them averaged less than 2 free throws per game. Now, that team was built with getting the ball inside. This year, they're going to have the ball in their hands a lot more. They need to attack the rim, can't settle for jump shots consistently. Nice take there from Silas.
Silas with his first point. Make it 2. Gonzaga's 2 of 4 from the free throw line to start the game. R.J. Cole, 6'1", 175. Got a full beard.
I'm still trying to grow one.
And he's a freshman. Williams inside over Jonathan Williams. Rui with another rebound. Boy, this Zag team really pushes it well.
Rui's got to drop that down on the high low to Jonathan Williams. If you have a defender on your back that long, it's got to get entered.
Williams had a tough pass from Hachimura to handle. A whip to Milson, and the lay-in under the rim. This team is so good so early.
They're much better than you would have thought they'd be as RJ knocks down the tough layup over Hachimura. But, you know, what surprises you is how far along they are offensively, Dan. They're moving the ball quickly. They're making solid decisions. You think with these many new players, guys playing the new roles, you'd see some more struggles offensively.
Kispert grabs the loose ball. Here's Perkins. And that's what I meant. Like, they're just so cohesive already on the offensive end. Perkins for another one. Missed it. Kispert, the offensive rebound. Jonathan Williams, step back three, no good. Perkins, another offensive rebound. And he's fouled inside by Jalen Jones as Perkins went high. And no foul called there, but we do have one on the floor. 15:39 to play first half. Josh Perkins has been great. Tonight's delivery of the game brought to you by Jimmy John's. Order Jimmy John's sandwich delivery today. Jimmy John's, where fresh and fast meat.
Leaves fall.
Has hit 4 of their first 8 shots, and they lead 12-3 over the Howard Bison. Bison from Washington, D.C., out of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. School been around a long time. Over 10,000 students currently enrolled at that school in Thurgood Marshall. One of their famous alumni, 1867. That's what I love about the East Coast.
So much history.
Oh, and it's just so old, right? 1867. Holy smokes!
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's like yesterday.
You two are beautiful. You two are beautiful.
It's all about. It's relative.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes. A lot like Uncle Si. Kispert open three.
How about that?
Oh, that guy can shoot the basketball.
I mean, and that is a good shot. Somebody watching on TV would think, hey, he's 5-6 feet behind the line, but he was on balance. He had plenty of time to gather. Why not raise up and shoot it?
You see the strength he has, though. I mean, that's right around the A.
Here's Cole. And that shot is off by Cousins. And now a foul called on Zach Norvell, who just checked into the game for GU.
Zach had an interesting line against Texas Southern the other night. 2 for 8 from the field, maybe forced a few things that last little stretch of the game, but 5 assists, did a really good job of creating for others out of pick and rolls, as well as quick advances of the ball and ball swings.
And you see it often.
Wide open underneath, number 5 is Marcus Hall, and it's 15-5.
What you see a lot often with young players, Dan, is, you know, if you come in as a shooter or scorer and that's not going for you, you don't bring a lot of value in other areas. You see how mature Corey is with his game as he tees up another 3 and banks it in. Saying he called it, I'm not sure.
I heard him.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, I heard him.
I'm a little further away than you, so I missed it.
Cole inside. That should be Zag ball, and it is.
You see the size for GU. Perkins 6'2", 6'3", and then you go Norvell 6'5", Kispert 6'6", so on and so forth. This is a team that's got more athleticism and length at their disposal than GU maybe has ever had.
Well,
I mean,
last year's team was big. This team, I think, may be a bit bigger. Obviously, they don't have the depth or the true interior post presence like Karnowski or Collins. But these aren't guards that played in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Norvell missing from deep. Gonzaga now 4 of 8 as a team. There's a wild shot, It's off of Norvell, out of bounds. It'll be Howard basketball. Gonzaga shooting it well early, guys.
Well, look at this. I mean, come on. You guys don't appreciate. Look at that. Standing still, loads it up, knocks down the three. And here, I'm not sure I believe in Corey there, but hey.
I mean,
knocked it down.
He does not.
And there's a hit from Kai Tees, a redshirt freshman out of Sacramento. And speaking of a guy who never saw a shot he didn't like, right? There's
I think
and he hit most of them.
Our wonderful producer Chauncey shows Adam Morrison because of the angle with which that three was taken from. It's shades of the Oklahoma State game in the Battle of Seattle. One of the absolute greatest scorers in college basketball history over the last 25 years. Certainly a great Zag.
Killian Tilly back in there for GU, along with Jakob Larson, number 14. Here's Norvell. Bounce pass, Hachimura. He and Cole get tied up, and they call the foul on R.J. Cole, number 2.
And this is an interesting lineup. Sorry, Greg. This is an interesting lineup Gonzaga has. Hachimura at the 3, Tilly and Larson as your bigs, but they're really trying to work the ball into Rui, or at the top of the key, high elbow, high post area, and try to compress that zone and then let him make plays. I think that's the next evolution of his game, is catch, face, quick decisions.
I think Rui's been tremendous this year. His numbers don't jump out at you, but you can clearly see that he's got a much better understanding of what they're trying to do collectively, and he's playing within himself.
And then that time, Tilly hooks right into the nail. Nice little turnaround floater.
Against that 2-3 zone, get the ball at the nail, that high post area, or the short corners. It forces the zone to collapse. If they don't, you get an easy look like Tilly just got, or you kick it out to a shooter.
Williams struggling with the ball over there. Got it to Cole with 15 on the shot clock. Cole against Jakob Larson, and then Perkins comes back over. Cousins missing the jump shot.
That was just a great defensive possession there by Larson, corralling, center fielding the pick and roll with R.J. Cole, allowing the guard to get back in front.
Tilly put it on the floor. Jump hook is good.
He's got that little jump hook, the floater. It's such a unique shot. You know, it's way back in the day, and obviously one of the better players in college basketball history. But Antoine Jamison kind of had that flick of the wrist, that quick release. Tilly's got a little bit of that in his game in that painted area.
And usually you see that with guards, having a quick shot at over bigs. When a big like Tilly has it, it's devastating.
And he's still... How about that?
Well, you
From rebound to dunk.
You talked about his being consistent early in the season. This is showing you a little bit of that explosiveness that we all, myself in particular, got so excited about last year. There is a reason that young man is on projected NBA draft boards. Plays like that excites NBA scouts, because they figure they can work on the fundamentals and the skills. There's very few players in college basketball that can do that.
Hachimura at the line now. And he completes the three-point play. Hachimura with 3. Gonzaga now 9 of 14 to start the game.
But what you like about that 9 for 14 from the field is the fact that there's 7 assists. Doing a great job sharing the ball.
Three-quarter court press from GU.
And there's a 10-second call.
And if you can get Rui to buy in and really give it a great effort up top on that zone press like he just did right there, that adds another look. I don't think Gonzaga really had the ability to do that last season. They will this year because of Rui there, and as well as Killian Tilly can do that at times.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that's a look you're going to see Gonzaga run for long stretches, but this is a group that could probably do that as effective as any group Mark Few's had.
Larson battling for the rebound, and he'll go to the free throw line. Gonzaga on a 7-0 run. 11:59 to play first half, and Rui Hachimura from coast to coast. A three-point play after a rebound at the other end. Boy, oh boy, is this guy going to be good. 5-8, and now some official analysis from Richard Fox.
Well, look, we talked at the top about trying to contain R.J. Cole, who's averaging 25. Let's stop it right here, fellas. So a lot of pick and roll for Howard. Let's roll it here. You see Larson's already playing center field. He starts to back up, doesn't overextend himself. Let's stop it here. So he's holding his ground. He's letting Perkins get back into the play. Roll it. Perkins recovers, and this is an excellent drop down, and you see Tilley's able to get out and challenge the shot effectively. That's an excellent heads there from a young big guy. Look, R.J. Cole's averaging 25 games. He's only taken 2 shots. There's a reason. GU's bigs have done an excellent job of hedging and staying long enough to allow the primary defender to recover, Dan.
That's as good of pick and roll defense as you're going to see. As a point guard coming off that, if you've got a big that keeps giving ground, but not enough that you can quickly get into a pull-up game, and you know that guard is fighting back to get in front, it limits your options.
Larson at the line. And Jakob with his first point of the game. Richard, you got to talk about that. You got to talk about the text you just received.
Well, you know, it's interesting. You know, you try to find a comparison to Rui, and no one's really able to figure out it. There's not a precedent, and so you know, Corey Violetta, who we're good friends with, asked, you know, do we see some of him in Rui? And I just told him that Rui's a much better player at this age than he was his entire career. So really not a good comparison. Would you agree, Dan?
Well, the comparison game is so difficult because it's such an adjustment. But the guy that comes to mind to me is Giannis Antetokounmpo, the all-star with the Bucks. That is a stretch. I will agree with that. But just the way he moves on the floor and has the versatility to make different plays. And I know it's a stretch. But the way the fluidity with which he moves is the only guy that I can think of.
Norvell Jr. is fouled. I'm just going to let that one go.
Greg, they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It is also in evaluating players. Now, Coach Few and his staff see something in players that other staffs don't see. They recruit to that. They think they'll fit into a system, much like another program might value a player differently.
I see more.
It's all about fit for so many guys at that next level.
I mean, if you're saying you see more, you know, Greek freak than Violet and Rui, I would agree.
Well, and not to mention, he's averaging 30 points against the best players in the world. And you just put Rui in the same conversation.
I think what's hard with the Greek freak in all seriousness, Dan. I mean, how old? How tall is Giannis? Almost 7 foot?
Well, Giannis is 6'11", 7'2", 7'3" wingspan.
Gonzaga has sent 5 players to that free throw line already in this game. And there you see Jeremy Jones, the redshirt junior out of San Antonio, Texas, into the game for GU. I don't question anything you say, Dan.
Thanks. Appreciate that,
well
Greg.
taken. Larson stopped the ball on defense. Loose ball. Tilley got a hand on it. And then that was Zion Cousins, who was standing on that end line when he touched the ball, so it's Zag basketball.
Well, you know Howard's going to play fast, and they're playing right into Gonzaga's hands when Gonzaga goes that little three-quarter court trap. One advance pass, one dribble up the sideline to a shot. I don't think that's what Coach Nickelberry wants, but it's kind of hard when that's the way you play.
Well, and you're almost baiting Howard into taking those types of shots. You're speeding him up a bit, and it lends itself to quick shots as Tilley misses the corner 3. And
Larson! What an offensive rebound and put back for the big fella.
Well, he just made his presence felt with that one right there.
Tell you what, you'd love to see that coming off the knee injury. He had a very effective 7 minutes against Texas Southern, 9.7 rebounds, and an excellent start here tonight.
I tell you what, they get that big fella playing like that, and watch out.
And he doesn't have to do it for 20 minutes a night. He just has to give them 10 to 12 really solid minutes as you get the shot clock violation on Howard here.
4 turnovers now for Howard. Gonzaga on an 11-0 run, and with the basketball leading 29-8.
Well, we've been talking a lot about offensive execution for Gonzaga tonight, and it has been good, but I've been really impressed defensively.
You know, the last 2 years, Gonzaga's held teams to under 30%, under 29% from the three-point line. I think this team has the exact same makeup. They should be able to continue that streak. This is a team that I think could be really special on that end of the floor.
Larson again, got it to Tilley, and Killian throws throws it down.
Jacob Larson, post, keep it high when the double, almost a triple comes, and a great find on Tilly on the dive from the weak side.
R.J. Cole bounce pass inside, and that's a nice finish for Marcus Hall. And that stops a 13-0 run for GU. Larson again, just keep feeding him.
But
Feed the post.
But I like what Gonzaga is doing right now. They're rewarding the big fella Larson by running the floor and creating space and problems on the block. We took another look there at the great find after the double team, but he comes right back on the next possession, does a great job sealing his defender. And Richard, you would know better than me. When you seal, you want that ball.
Yeah, you got to reward him for working. He's doing his work before the ball ever gets there. That's a sign of a mature post player. As Jakob knocks down the first free throw. Look, he has been very impressive for a guy who's coming off a significant injury, who's sat out a prolonged period of time. He looks much more comfortable on the floor than you would anticipate he would have. I mean, even with this, without the injury, it takes a while to get back up to the speed of the game. You see his touch, good hands.
And Larson checks out of the game with 5 points. But some really effective minutes there for Jakob, the redshirt freshman out of Denmark. Zag's just been able to find those great post players over the years, and I know he's got a long way to go, but you see those flushes. Here's Cole on the drive, left-handed shot up and good, and it falls, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Really the first time R.J. Cole's just gone one-on-one, no pick and roll. Nice little adjustment. He's got a bit of a mismatch with Jones out at the top. And here you see the contact late.
And that's what he does really well. Gets to the free throw line, and he can do that because of how shifty he is in changing speeds and changing directions on the perimeter with the dribble.
You see, I mean, he shoots 47% from three, so you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I mean, if you sag off him, he's already demonstrated he can knock down the three, and he's got enough quickness and strength to finish at the rim.
Guys, 7 different zags with an assist in this game. Perkins into the corner. That shot is short. Kispert, though, tried to follow it. And Tilly ran it down. Perkins now.
Perkins knocks down the three, but Kispert's such a good shooter. He knew the second it left his hand, it was off. And he was chasing that ball down, giving him an extra possession.
And the offensive foul called there. Gonzaga ball. I'm sure at home you can hear this crowd. This is such a difficult place to come play basketball. But when you get a team with the intensity that Gonzaga is playing with right now defensively, and then they're exerting the same sort of effort offensively with these dunks, this place just gets worked up into a froth awfully quick. Williams with the great catch, can't convert, and there's a good rebound for Cousins. That's Nate Garvey, number 3, a freshman, and he hits that three-point shot with a defender right in his face.
Well, that's knowing the scouting report. Guards come in off the bench, whether it's Kai Tees or Garvey, they're coming in for one thing, and that's let it fly from the outside.
Silas. Melson with 7 points. 39-15. Cole drives. Blocked by Tilly. Cole ran it down. Garvey will shoot it again. It looks good. And it is. It rattled in. And now a whistle, offensive foul called on Jonathan Williams. He was posting up inside on Marcus Hall and was a bit too aggressive. 7:26 to play first half. All Gonzaga leading at 39-18.
For the best in live music,
By Delta Dental, a healthy smile is a powerful thing. Find the easiest way to take care of yours at deltadentalwa.com with easy online tips to keep you and your smile strong all season long. Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of healthy smiles and your Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Well, why wouldn't they smile? 39-18 lead. Shooting it extremely well from the free field at 57%. But more importantly, sharing the ball.
Yeah.
Greg, sharing it.
Well, and taking care of it. They struggled against Texas Southern in the first half. I believe 11 turnovers, only 1 turnover, 2 turnovers to 10 assists here in the first half thus far.
Cole with the ball, and Perkins guarding him.
And the pick and roll defense for GU is on point right now.
Cousins the miss, and Williams clears the rebound. Perkins down the lane, left it for Tilly, but the foul is called on Perkins.
But that's one of the issues right there that the staff has had at times with Josh Perkins. Make the simple play. One dribble, come to a quick stop in the key. You had a wide open shooter, I believe it was Melson, on that left-hand wing. Instead, one extra dribble, tries to look away, wraparound pass, gets called for the charge, overcommits to what he wants to do too soon a lot of times.
Marcus Hall took that shot from Perkins. There's the feed inside. Hall falls off the rim, and another whistle, and a foul inside on Zion Cousins.
Oh, it's just been a tough sled inside for Howard. They're having some success, 3 of 6 behind the three-point line, but really can't get anything going at the rim. And the pick-and-roll defense, the defense at the rim for GU, you see how much Gonzaga's length is bothering Howard.
The fouls are racking up for Howard as well. 11 with a little over 6 minutes, 40 seconds left in that first half. It would be interesting to see just how deep Pickleberry goes into his roster.
Here could be point number 1,000 for Jonathan Williams.
Tell you what, Greg, on behalf of everybody at home,
listen,
Jonathan's family, Jonathan himself, let's not talk about the free throws anymore.
He's going to get it. Trust me. I'm confident. Melson for 3. Hachimura.
Extra possessions on the offensive glass.
And that's something the staff talked to Rui about after Texas Southern. He was active on the glass, but only came up with 2. Given his size and how active he is, he needs to come up with more rebounds than just 2.
Here's Perkins with that mouthpiece halfway into the corner. Kispert wide open 3. Oh, that's a thing of beauty when it's in the air.
And that was the correct play by Josh Perkins. Fire that ball off a dribble penetration into the corner for an open shooter. Brian Michelson right there telling him, I'm pretty sure, the exact same thing. Correct decision. But you're right, Greg. That jump shot is going to be something that Gonzaga fans really appreciate over these next few years.
That's just unbelievable. Enjoy low fares to amazing places Alaska Airlines flies, connecting Spokane to over 100 destinations, including Costa Rica and New York City. Book now at alaskaair.com. Utah State is up next, and then the PK80 Invitational. They'll open with Ohio State, and then you can read it as well as I can. They may play a team like Duke in that championship game if they get there.
I mean, that is probably the greatest preseason college basketball tournament ever assembled. 2 separate 18 tournaments. They start with Ohio State, which will be interesting. Chris Holtman, who was at Butler, he has taken his talents on that bench over to Ohio State, but then Florida's pretty stinking good. And then Stanford, if they can knock off Florida, it would be difficult because of Reed Travis, the power forward, down on the farm.
And you see there, Duke defeating Michigan State tonight by 7.
And without Bagley, for the most part, after he injured his eye, he didn't play the rest of the game, is my understanding. So, shows you the depth that Duke has.
Yeah, there's still a lot there.
The rich keep getting richer when it comes to college basketball. Duke picks up Marvin Bagley Jr. as he reclassifies. They just got a commitment and then a signed letter of intent from R.J. Barrett, who's arguably the #1 player in high school currently at Montverde Academy down in Florida, who's actually a high school teammate of somebody who signed with Gonzaga, Philippe Petrusev, a big man who's playing down there this season, 6'8". Gonzaga staff is really high on that young man.
That foul was called on Corey Kispert. This is Charles Williams at the line. And Charles makes them both. There's Kispert with the ball. Melson on the baseline, skip, and shot away, no good. And the rebound and outlet, here's Cole. Transition three on the way.
Well, that's a play that Corey Kispert has never had to guard at the high school level. They stare you down three in transition by R.J. Cole.
Norvell, Kispert, Williams. Jonathan so patient. Left hand away is good. What poise. And
now
there,
he's got 1,000.
He's over 1,000, Richard. I told you he'd get it.
The sweeping hook across the middle.
Oh, it was a great play, too. There's Dalik Mingo. Now the shot is away by Williams, and it's off, and Norvell, the weak side rebound.
Just tough shots from Williams now. 0 of 6. You don't need that look that early in the clock, Dan.
No, not at all.
Norvell, he can shoot it. That one's off. Cole again, watch him in transition. Right at Melson, right in. What a rebound by Williams, but Cole with great quickness in that paint. Kispert. Oh, that's the offensive foul. Cole and Marcus Hall in there. Kispert's a big boy.
Well, that's a similar
and three
as
on
to
Kispert,
what I had
Dan.
talked about Josh Perkins. Having his mind made up. That's a difficult third one to pick up in that first half. It'll be a learning experience, but that's one of the areas where Corey's going to have to improve over the course of the year, and I'm sure he will. His shooting ability and his ability to stretch the defense, we've talked about enough in 2 broadcasts now, 3, excuse me. But his ability to put the ball on the deck and quickly make decisions will improve.
Cole. Getting a lot of attention right now down to the baseline. Left it for Lewis. Short jumper is off. And that's a foul called there on number 10, Zion Cousins. A little shove to Jonathan Williams, who went up for that rebound. 3:43 to play first half. Gonzaga up by 24. Brought to you by Toyota. Your local Toyota dealers are proud to support Gonzaga Athletics. For great deals on our best-selling models, visit buyatoyota.com. And there's a beautiful look at the Hemmingson Center here on the campus, Gonzaga. It's the Student Center. And we're going to look at a play now here, and the great Daniel Dickow is going to break it down for us.
Well, we've talked about Rui and his improvement freshman year to sophomore year, but one of the reasons it was hard at times for him to get on the floor was his inability to understand defensive rotations. This play right here, he does a great job as a big guarding both pick and rolls, a screen and a rescreen, and this time side pick and roll, Silas Melson's forcing it down. He keeps the ball handler in front, allows Silas to get there for a trap, knowing that the help side should be rotating there. That's the difference that I see on the defensive end of the floor for him this year. Last year, occasionally he would fly around defensively, using his athleticism, his instincts. This year, he's starting to bring that within concepts.
Yeah, exactly. Last year, I thought he has good instincts with the ball and when he's guarding the ball, but it's when he was, weak side, that kind of stuff where he really struggled last year.
Jonathan Williams missing his attempt at 1,002.
Well, he improved over the summer from the free throw line. Coaches were really high on his ability to knock down free throws. Struggled at times last year shooting at 56%, but this has not been good for Jonathan Williams from the line tonight.
It'll be Howard basketball after the tie-up there.
Well, I think I know why he's struggling from the free throw line.
Oh, Greg.
Hey, look, that is one of the best dudes in the world right there, Jonathan Williams. I love that guy. I'm not worried about Jonathan at all. It's 3.7 rebounds tonight. Pretty impressive. But he is a superstar guy. Perkins left it for Rui. Rui, that's an offensive foul.
Yeah, that left arm came out on the drive.
That's 3 charges now from Gonzaga. A couple of over penetrations that time. Rui gets cut off defensively, extends his arm. That's where get your shoulder down, attack the defender's hip instead of extending with that forearm.
Mingo down to the baseline, ran right into Jakob Larson, all 7 foot and 260 of him.
Mingo looking around like, how big is this guy?
Wow.
We don't play against that maniac.
All of a sudden, somebody moved Mount Rainier over here and plopped it right into the basket. Norvell spins, fell off. Jakob with the rebound, looking for help. Bounce pass, got it to Rui, and Rui scores with a chance for 3.
He was winding up as if he wanted to throw down the hammer. Not able to do it, fouled on the arm, but great job concentrating and finishing through contact. But Jakob Larson, I mean, he has been very impressive in this first half, Richard.
Yeah, I think he's had a good start to the year. 5 points, 5 rebounds tonight.
Great game, guys.
Rui with 8 points. Kispert, the only Zag into double figures with 11. But 8 Zags have scored in this game, and they lead at 50-23. Jones just traveled. A redshirt junior out of Kinston, North Carolina.
We've highlighted a number of bigs in their guarding of pick and rolls. That time, Jonathan Williams didn't guard the pick and roll. He was the weak side defender, rotated back up, took the scouting report and closed out short. Jones not going to shoot it. Make him put it on the deck and make a decision. Led to a travel.
Williams. Wow.
Tell you what, that is impossible to defend.
That's a skyhook, gentlemen.
Well, yeah, once he takes that first big step in the lane, and not only does he cover a ton of ground, gets across the lane, but he's so athletic, he elevates.
Speaking of elevating, the goal missing. Williams drives. Oh! He got a shoulder by Cole and then threw it down like a monster.
Give Jakob Larson a hockey assist on that because he did a great job sealing the defense.
Oh, that's powerful. And Jakob Larson with the rebound, but was pulled down and then called for the travel. I think it was Cameron Lewis who met him up there from behind, grabbed the ball and pulled him down as we take a look at Jonathan Williams again.
Well, R.J. Cole thinks he might be able to slow down Williams. Williams has none of it.
And Cole just gave up. He's like, uh-oh, this guy's by me. 1:30 to play first half. Lewis. There's Kai Tees. He hit a 3 early in this game. And now Cole with 10 on the shot clock drives right at Jonathan Williams. And now a struggle for the ball. There's Jonathan Williams. He's knocked to the floor, battled with, I believe that was Jalen Jones. Actually, it was Ibrahim Dosunma, a sophomore out of Chicago, number 22.
You see the struggles here for Howard. No field goals in 4+ minutes. And just there's been nothing easy. They've got nothing effective out of the pick and roll offense, which is a big part of what they try to do. And then when they do get in the lane, they're just met with GU's length. Having a tough time finishing in the paint.
Perkins. Well, Williams was bailed out there. I don't think he caught that ball cleanly, but the poke is the foul, and Jonathan will go to the free throw line.
Gonzaga got lucky. The foul was called. Poor spacing on the post entry there.
Well, you like the idea from Josh. You know, hey, Williams kicks it out, let him repost, get it back into him. But when he spun around to deliver the ball, there was only about 4 or 5 feet between them, so his man was able to come down and help.
Jonathan, hopeful for many awards this season. And Hachimura was just called for being over the back.
I mean, I know that was a foul, but
That was still pretty
that was
impressive.
impressive.
You know, I looked at each other like, okay.
And that will put the Sunma at the line. Ibrahim is listed at 6'7". And Rui listed at 6'8". Rui just looks a lot bigger than Ibrahim. (54-24). Under a minute to play first half. Dan and Richard have headed for the beverage stand. Here's Williams. Hachimura puts it on the floor, goes to the rim.
But you know what, though? Yeah, it's an offensive foul, but you love the take. Sees there's no help on the wing. You know, he'll understand that the defender's sliding over. I got a floater here if I want it. You know, but still, I like that move. That's a good spot to be aggressive. It's a good call from the official.
Well, what I like about that play for him is understanding his defender, the primary defender, jumped up on the ball screen too early. Rejected, attack baseline, but you're right, one dribble pull-up.
Cole, 15 on the shot clock. About a 5-second differential between the two clocks. Cole with the drive. Tilly pokes at it. And the shot away is way short. Tilly trying to keep it alive. Got it to Larson. To Zach Norvell with 3 on the clock. Zach going to the rim. A whistle. Nope. Charge. Offensive foul call. Again.
Well, I know every season they start to make it a priority to call charges and whether guys are set or not. That to me looked like a block. And Coach Few and the staff as well as his crowd.
Well, Coach Few, I think Coach Few's argument was from his angle, he thought Cole may have been inside that half circle. Clearly, he's outside of it. It looked like Cole was moving to his left.
1.2 seconds to play now in the first half of the game. I agree, though. But look, that's the hardest call in basketball. There's a shot at the buzzer. And it goes off the glass. Kyle Foster. Well, we saw 2 bank shots for 3 in that first half.
We did. One by Kispert on the wing and Foster as we take another look at it at the end of the first half. But Gonzaga great offensively except for 8 turnovers, but 4 of those were offensive fouls.
Okay, we've got assistant coach Donnie Daniels on the horn now. And coach, I know you're a coach, you're going to look at it differently, but from over here for game 2, that looked like a really good effort in the first half.
Great effort. I'm not even going to talk coach speak right here.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Great effort on the glass. Hopefully, I wish we shot foul shots better, but we're taking their threes away, and we've had a couple of shot clock violations on their part. And we really bottle up their threes for the most part. This kid just got one off, a circus shot, but he's capable of doing that. But our effort's great, and our rebounding has been sensational.
Donnie, you guys must have had priority number 1 of taking care of R.J. Cole in the pick and roll. How do you feel you guys have done in that area?
Really good. I don't know if he's seen that much aggressiveness and stuff like that, but he deserves that. He's coming in here having 25 points a game. We've done a nice job on Williams, and we've done a nice job on Foster until he got that one off. But, the biggest thing is that we are controlling the glass. We came out with 2 big offensive rebounds by Jonathan Williams that really set the tone for us. And we're getting a great effort as far as, bottling up Cole.
Coach, thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
See you in the second half. 54-27 the score. Corey Kispert led Gonzaga in scoring with 11 points. Hachimura had 8, Perkins had 9. Melston and Williams each with 7. And Gonzaga hit 19 of 33 from the floor, and they lead Howard 54-27. Halftime straight ahead at McCarthy Athletic Center. The Gonzaga Bulldogs off and running.
Yeah,
at the keys as we revisit them. Gentlemen, how are they doing?
Well, they're doing a great job taking advantage of the size. Plus 17 on the glass.
And, you know, for the most part, Howard's gotten some decent looks from three and they've converted, but that's really all they've gotten offensively, Greg.
And that third one, find consistency. You got a lot of different players scoring. Frankly, a lot of different players doing good things. I guess that defines consistency. Can they do it now over a second half will be the question. We need to revisit number 3 at the end of the game.
You want to see 40 minutes of consistency?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I want to see. Yes. Here's Charles Williams and Melson up in there. And there's the deep shot. And Melson with the rebound. Shot was up by Nate Garvey.
You see how hard it is for Howard to really get anything inside the three-point line.
High-low, Williams missed, and Corey Kispert. When your guards can rebound like that guy can, look up.
Well, his third rebound, all 3 offensive. And that's a great point, Greg. There's some really good rebounders. Zach Norvell's got that in his game in the backcourt, and you need that to be a dominant rebounding team. Your backcourt has to help.
And Cole calmly knocks down the three.
It's been a bit of a struggle for Cole, but you can see how he gets 25 a game, Dan.
He can score all 3 levels, at the rim, mid-range, and then obviously from the three-point line. But great hustle play there by Melson to chase down that over-the-top pass, knock it out of bounds, denying Howard from getting an easy 2.
And Sy beat Charles Williams to that loose ball, forced it out of bounds. Cole, quick 3. And a foul called here on
Tilly, I believe.
Killian Tilly.
Well, you look over at that Gonzaga bench. Coach Q was not happy with that possession. Lackadaisical preparation on the inbounds play, allowing Cole to get a 3 that, quite frankly, I'm surprised he missed.
That'll be Cole on the inbound with Tilly guarding him. Here's Williams, poked away by Silas. Williams got it back. Plenty of time on that shot clock. Cole over Perkins, in and out.
I was just a 1-4 low, spread the floor, let me attack you off the bounce.
Silas Melson. Melson with 10.
2 of 3 tonight after 1 of 5 behind the three-point line on Friday against Texas Southern. Nice response from Silas behind the arc.
And the turnover. I hope Sy has a tremendously great senior year. He deserves it. He's been the ultimate Zag, I think, over his career.
He is epitome of a Zag. Was going to redshirt his freshman year until Josh Perkins broke his jaw, so he burned it there, not really ready to play because of mentally, as Jonathan Williams has a great face-up post move chance for the three-point play, but Silas Melson was mentally ready to redshirt his freshman year until Josh Perkins breaks his jaw, decides to go ahead for the betterment of the team and the program to go ahead and play. Had some ups and downs, but he has become a rock for this ball club, that's for sure.
Foul called on Jalen Jones, and gentlemen, I got a really good feeling that this free throw's going.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my goodness! I'm
going to leave it alone.
You're now reckless.
This to get Jonathan to double figures. I told you. Bang.
Bet with the odds.
I just had to be more emphatic
Irrational
about
confidence, Mr. Greg Heister.
Yeah, that's right. Jonathan having a nice game. Foster into the corner. Lewis's shot is too long. And rebound by Kai Tees over there, and he's fouled by Silas Melson. Sy's first foul.
You know, the common denominator when you look at those two seniors, Greg, Melson and Williams, tough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tough guys.
Gamers.
And they're all about team. You know, they do what they do. That, you know, a lot of seniors, you come into this season and you think, I've got to now all of a sudden be something I haven't been. As Tilly bothers the shot, Williams gets a rebound. Both Melson and Jonathan play within themselves.
Here's Perkins. Kispert, look at that big fella go up. Into the corner, Perkins for three. That's long. Williams. Jonathan puts it on the deck, goes up strong, and there's the whistle.
What a toughness by Jonathan Williams on the glass. We talked about it earlier this season about him testing the waters in the NBA. His offensive game will have to continue to improve, which I will, but to make it in that league, you have to have an elite skill with one thing, and for him, it is rebounding. He goes and gets that ball. The smaller Foster doesn't block him out. Jonathan Williams will not be denied on that glass.
Jonathan's got that great motor, a lot like Domus did, Calvary did at that position. That's what I love about Jonathan Williams most, is that he never takes a day off.
Looks like he just comes to work.
Yep.
He knows what's expected. He knows his game.
I think the other thing for him is, actually, if you look at this whole ball club, you're trying to search who's your leader. I've been to a few practices earlier this season, and Jonathan has come over and sat down after practice and asked questions about, hey, how can I be a better leader for this ball club? That, to me, shows a lot. He's not concerned about his numbers. He's concerned about, hey, what can we do as a team, and how can I help this team get to that point?
Ooh. Zach almost had himself a steal. And a fadeaway shot there by Kyle Foster.
Tough
on the
shot.
Baseline. Good shot there. Yeah. Perkins too close to Jonathan, too hard of a pass. Got to throw it up on Dan.
Where's Foster? Good defense from Kispert. Almost a runner from the baseline off one leg, and it's been a struggle to start the year for Foster. Only less than 30% from the field, 6 of 21 from the three-point line, but that's a nice finish.
Cole, where's the help side? Non-existent that time. Nice little up and under finish.
Cole with 12 points and still playing hard. Here's Jonathan. Zach Norvell.
And that is a great decision by Josh Perkins there. Snap the ball back after he sees that zone rotate, leaving Norvell open. His ball is as soft as they come on the rim.
Foster, that's a deep three. Kispert.
Man.
Right there, and Foster buried it over the 6'6" Kispert.
And Mark Few right now frustrated with Kispert. I mean, that's a tough shot, but the point Few was trying to make is, why are you helping off of Foster as he knocks down the bomb from the three-point line? We'll be back after the break. Zags up 30.
(67-37), 15:53 to play at the McCarthy Athletic Center. Some news now around the West Coast Conference. Nick Emery, a big loss, gentlemen, for BYU.
It's interesting. He wants to kind of focus in on some other things right now in his personal life. Sounds like he will be back next season. Hopefully that's the case. But Randy Bennett, Gale for life, 10-year extension. I thought last year, after Conzo Martin went from Cal to Missouri, I thought that was the one opportunity maybe that Randy Bennett would take in the Pac-12. If he didn't, he's going to stay at St. Mary's for life.
I don't know. And I think nowadays a lot of these guys have gotten wise to the fact that there's something to be said to be able to, I'm winning where I am. He regularly gets to the tournament. He's got job security. He's got things figured out. That's his program.
Yeah.
Outside of the money, I'm not sure, why you'd leave something as good as St. Mary's.
Well, and the only reason I thought it made sense was because he's a Bay Area guy right now.
I get it.
He would have to recruit a different player, but to each is his own.
That foul called on Cameron Lewis. We're going to take a timeout with 15:52 to play. We're back in a couple. When they're saying, feed me, it's time for Arby's trivia question. Brought to you by Arby's, your delicious neighborhood meat crafter. Arby's, we have the meats. Question here. In which season did Gonzaga and Howard last meet? Was it 85-86, 80-81, 90-91, or 95-96? Text your answer to 27297. We'll have that answer for you a little bit later.
Well, I know you were poring over the game notes, so.
Yes, I do know, Dan, but I can't say it out loud because that will spoil it for all of our tremendous viewers. Here's Josh Perkins. Spins. That's nice play, but just didn't finish.
You know what? He missed it, but I love the aggressiveness. You can't keep selling. You're not selling. You can't live and die with a three-point shot. You need a little bit more balance to your diet.
Yeah.
Right there, I like that take.
I mean, he's such an elite shooter. Teams are going to run him off the line. Now he's got to figure out how to finish. It's been a journey finishing for him over the first 3 years. I think he's got a chance to figure it out this year.
And there's a nice hard finish for Cameron Lewis. I like Josh's game.
Oh, absolutely. I think his assist to turnover ratio is solid. Yeah, he shoots it very well. Defensively, we haven't talked enough about how good a job he is on ball.
Kispert, little long. Lewis the rebound. The thing with Josh, we just seen him have a few mental lapses here and there throughout a season, right? Now, as he's grown up in a junior, if he eliminates that, this guy's
I think he's poised for a breakout here. But if you look at as R.J. Cole shoots an air ball from about 27 feet, very few guys, regardless of program, have had 13 points at halftime of a national title game.
No, sure. I'm not denying that.
I think the challenge for Josh was, as a freshman, he really got thrown to the fire. That team didn't have a lot of depth in the backcourt. His freshman year was cut short with the jaw injury, so we didn't have the luxury as Tilly finishes with another floater. Didn't have the luxury of playing with Kevin Pangos and Gary Bell and learning some of their habits. But then last year, now all of a sudden, on point guard, I got to play off the ball. I think he's going to find some consistency in his role this year and next year.
Foster driving. Hachimura the rebound, and will he give it up? Yes, he does to Perkins. Perkins skipped to Melson. The three ball is short. And rebounded by Zion Cousins. That was the right play, right, Dan?
Absolutely. Transition three where the defense is flowing. It opens up an opportunity. It's a great shot.
Tipped down there by Norvell, but Foster there to grab it and shoot it.
And that should have been an offensive foul by Kyle Foster. That's one of the emphasis points this season.
And Rui the easy lane at the other end. Cole right back, goes right at Tilly. No whistle. All that contact, no whistle. Lewis the rebound. Here's Foster again from deep. And he threw that right to Rui Hachimura. And there's contact and the whistle. Kyle Foster banging right into Josh Perkins.
Well, he's frustrated there. That's a frustration foul. Possession to go. He kicked the leg out trying to draw an offensive foul. That is a point of emphasis this year. That should be called as an offensive foul. Officials wanting to clean that up.
You see it, the right leg as it kicks out. Kind of vintage Reggie Miller. Officials tend to be wise to that nowadays as Norvell misses the three.
Guy tees with the basketball. He tripped. Grabbed by Josh Perkins and a 2-on-1 ahead to Norvell. And the flush.
Well, his nickname is Snacks. He saw a treat up ahead if he got ahead. Give me that 2 and I'll dunk.
Tell you, this crowd has been awesome tonight. They've been making noise the entire game. There's a tough shot by Kai Tees, but Lewis playing hard. Got the offensive rebound, and he will go to the free throw line, and a foul called on Jakob Larsson. And the Zags with a new player coming in. It will be number 10, Jesse Wade. In a moment, but he's over there at the scores table, a freshman out of Kaysville, Utah. And here he comes for Josh Perkins.
We've talked a little bit about who could fill the role of backup point guard when Josh Perkins is in foul trouble or needs a break. Well, Jesse Wade is one of the options. Been dealing with a little bit of shoulder issues in the preseason, but he's a knockdown shooter. He's got good enough handles to be able to initiate offense. There's a 2-year LDS mission overseas, but Coach Field and the staff are really high on him.
Oh, great look from Larsson. Gentlemen, Jakob's got skills. He's 7 feet tall.
It was great ability to see it. Really wants that one back, that's for sure. But the high-low look, dropping it on a dime. The only thing I might say is throw it up to the rim.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask of a freshman center. Nice play call as Oh, this is another jump shot, but GU's high-low has been awfully effective to start the season.
Hachimura. But Shima Karnowski used to make passes like that. And when you see another 7-footer able to play basketball on that level, you're like,
it's a rarity that you have a back-to-the-basket big who can also see the floor and make passes like that.
Hachimura's attempt for three is long. Charles Williams the rebound, and he'll stop and pop it. And Larson to Jesse Wade.
Charles Williams is struggling. 0 for 10 now from the field. He's a scorer. Freshman of the year last year in the MEAC. Hasn't gotten it going yet in this early season.
And nice defensive play by Nate Garvey to take it away from Zach Norvell. As we're near the 11-minute mark. Garvey. Silas elbow jumper. That's off of Jakob Larson. It'll be Bison basketball when we come back. 10:47 to play in Spokane. Gonzaga up by 32. Take a look at Sackville. More like Dunk City tonight as we look at the plays of the game, brought to you by Multicare Health System, Deaconess Hospital, Rockwood Clinic, Valley Hospital, now part of Multicare Health System. Better connected. How about Dunk City tonight at McCarthy Athletic Center?
68% inside the three-point line for GU. You see why, and you see full display the length, the athleticism this team has, and when they get out on the break, and you saw it with Norvell, with Rui, they are dangerous. They're scary on the break.
I think they're better in transition this year, or have the ability to be better.
Well, the thing that's interesting is Tilly, Rui, Jonathan, when they get the defensive rebound, they're actually comfortable initiating the break. 2, 3, 4 dribbles up the floor, drop it off. That really starts your break quickly.
There's a strong drive to the basket by Charles Williams, and a foul called there on Mr. Jeremy Jones.
It's a great set out of the timeout, out of the break by Coach Nickelberry. Little Ellen Iverson loop cut over the top. And Jeremy Jones is behind on the cut on the catch. Jones just rips to, Williams rips to the baseline, attacks the rim.
And CJ drops in the front end.
It's been a tough night for Williams, but an excellent start to his career. Rookie of the year last year, predicted to be a first-team All-MEAC member. And you see he's got plenty of talent, just been a bad night for him on the offensive end.
He's got good length, athleticism. Obviously his numbers from a season ago dictate that he can really shoot the ball.
And Larson unable to corral that pass from Melson.
Maybe the first 2 mistakes of the night for Larson. Not a good throwback out pass after the double. They did a great job on the reseal, but you have to release that seal to go get that ball.
Ty Tees goes baseline on Silas and scored. Silas was expecting a little more help there on that, probably near the rim, right?
Well, you've got a young front court here. You've got Rui with limited experience as...
That right there is a play that he couldn't make last year. He understood the double. He cut to open space to the front of the rim, make himself available.
Did you like that pass?
Oh, I love that pass. I know Greg Eister did, but that cut is showing the evolution of his game.
By both players. The pass is heady. So's the
it
play
is.
by
Double
Rui.
comes. You recognize that, realize it, dive to the front of the rim, and it is. It's a great delivery.
And there's no way Rui makes that play last year.
No, not at all.
Last year he stays on the three-point line, doesn't see what's happening.
Rui with 12 points tonight and 6 rebounds.
But effective 5 of 5 inside the arc. He's taken 1-3, but he's not forcing the three-point shot. He's looking to use his talent to get himself to the rim in transition. A nice ball game.
Norvell.
These are important minutes if you're GU, because you have to presume that Perkins is done for the night. So with Melson out as well, who's your point?
Zach. Doesn't matter who your point is. Zach Norvell, you go under the screen, I guarantee you he's going to sniff it out and let it fly from behind the arc.
Baseline jumper, good by Cameron Lewis.
But I agree, this is a good lineup to work on some things for Gonzaga. 4 out, 1 in, being Larson. Move without the ball, make cuts, and there you see Jeremy Jones on a similar cut as Rui a play or two ago. But again, good recognition by Larson, and Greg is becoming a fan time after time.
I would too. He's got 4 assists, Dan.
He's 7 feet tall.
Let's get a little more excited. Jeez.
He's got more assists than you ever did at point guard.
We're going to go there.
Norvell! And the left-handed flush. Dan, you know I love you.
Sometimes I wonder.
No, you don't. Ever. It's a facetious statement, but you understand. I mean, that's your 5 with 4 assists.
Well, that shows you a little bit about what Gonzaga recruits to. For the most part, they are recruiting high IQ bigs from Europe, as Cameron Lewis draws the foul on Larson. But for the most part, they go over there and they look for high IQ, high-skilled bigs who understand spacing, cutting, the ability to make plays. And if Jonathan Larson can continue to improve, I don't want to get too excited, but I think he's got a bright future here. I'll let you do the excitedness, Greg.
Hey, I'm all into that. Like, what's not to be excited about? And it's 82-50. No, look, it's just another year where you're just amazed when you look at what Gonzaga lost in the offseason, and then you come and you watch it. Like, this is a team that's going to grow yet, Richard.
Well, think about what they've lost the last 3 years. You know, the Elite 8 year, you lose Pangos, Bell. Then the following year, you lose an NBA front line and Wilcher and Sabonis. Obviously, we know what they lost last year. And yet here they are as Wade teased up the 3. Look, we're in a different evolution of the program. The term reload would have applied for when Dan and I were here, but at this point.
Well, it's a fact of college basketball now, the elite programs, which Gonzaga is, you find ways to get European guys. You find grad transfers, although they didn't pick up one this year. They just picked up a regular transfer in Brandon Clark, who we haven't touched on yet. But you find ways to keep that roster stocked and balanced for years coming forward.
Boy, trust me, it is stocked. 82-50, 7:25 to play. Which season did Gonzaga and Howard last meet? It was the 90-91 season.
That was your first year doing play-by-play for the Zags, wasn't it?
You talk about someone needing to work on the sense of humor.
There is something to be said for so bad it's funny.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I mean, nice job, Dan. I mean, you're my partner in crime here, and I love you. So
I think everybody would agree that the comedy's my role. So let's all stay in our way.
Well, looks and everything, Richard. Free throw in. Cole with 13.
We highlighted Cole from the start. Came in averaging 25 a game. Gonzaga, and in particular, Melson has done a great job. He has had to work for all 13 of those points, but he shows his creativity and his skill level. He's going to be a difficult guard to cover in that MEAC.
It's fun to watch. Backdoor Kispert. Larson. How about that distribution?
You know, he's for such a big guy. He's He gets off the floor fairly quickly, Dan. I mean,
he's got good feet. He's got soft hands.
Look at Larson out on top. And that ball was kicked by someone. It's off of Zag. Another look at this.
Nice little back cut. This is a design play. Kispert with the little dump down. And Larson's been tremendous tonight, going up quickly, strong, not worrying about getting the shot blocked or any contact.
I'm just so impressed with the IQ collectively of this team right now.
No, it is a lot better than I think many people, quite frankly, were expecting. I had a chance to have a really good conversation with Stephen Gentry as Cole misses the three. Gonzaga's director of basketball operations, his first year here, but you know, he has been in the NBA with the Heat as a video intern. He's been at Texas A&M, Stephen F. Austin, Oklahoma State, and what he told me as Zach Norvell hits another three is he has been extremely impressed after all his stops of how quickly these guys are picking up offensive and defensive schemes for a new nucleus of guys. Many guys that obviously didn't play big minutes last year.
Well, there's just no way to. I mean, you knew you had talent coming back.
Physical talent.
Yeah,
right?
and just, you know, you knew Zach could score. You knew Rui had a bunch of, a ton of different tools, so on and so forth. Kispert had good size, could shoot it. But when you have that kind of inexperience and you just can't be certain what you're going to get as Zach misses a three. And what's been surprising is not that these kids are good. It's how well they're playing this early in the year. I mean, this does not look like a team that's really only returning 4 guys.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a solid point. But if you look back to when Gonzaga started these runs, the year they were snubbed, I believe it was 98. They went up to the top of the World Classic, won some big games, beat a number 5 Clemson team. They got the snub, but they were playing great early in the season.
Hachimura, little different player though back then, Dan. And Rui just fouled out of the game for the Zags.
I think to finish my thought as our producer was telling me to wrap with that comment was every team has their own evolution as to how they come together. And Coach Few's had a lot of teams that have gelled early in the season. A couple of years ago, the Kyle Wiltshire team, it took them all the way to literally
March.
The WCC tournament to gel. I think it's just a little bit further along than a lot of people thought, but it's going to be interesting to see them at the PK 80 next week. That's going to expose a few flaws that aren't seen against an opponent like this.
But that's going to be the case for everybody.
Yeah, and that's why you schedule those games.
Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, Duke and Michigan State, Kentucky. Who did Kentucky play tonight? Kansas. You can make an argument that those 4 teams are getting exposed a little bit earlier.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, those games, if you
everybody
lose,
schedules these games,
affecting your Ken Palm rating or your RPI.
Some
or
schedule them all year.
It is. Yeah.
And that was a shot across the bow of the great Chauncey Jones a moment ago, Dan. Gonzaga scoring inside.
A little friendly fire from Mr. Dickow.
Yeah, well. He's one of the best, that's for sure.
And Zach Norvell was 16, tried to go 5-hole on Garvey. Picked it up and scored with the left hand.
Look what I found.
Cole into the paint, ran into the back of Jesse Wade, and all kinds of whistles and hands up. And a foul on Gonzaga.
I like the thought. Not great execution, but hey,
it worked.
You take 2 points however you can get it.
Kispert out of the game, replaced by Jack Beach. Kispert 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting, 4 rebounds, 3 assists in 21 minutes.
Another well-rounded game from the freshman wing. It's Texas Southern. 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He does more than just score the ball. You saw that tonight.
And Cole now at 15 points as you take a look at Jack Beach, redshirt sophomore out of San Diego.
Played for a really good high school coach in John Olive, who at one time was at Loyola Marymount, Torrey Pines High School. Good shooter.
And Cole checks out with 4:47 to play and 16 points. As you look at Justin Cotton, a junior out of Clinton, Maryland, in the game. Norvell leading Gonzaga now with 18 points as Wade lines up the three and hits it.
People forget because he was gone for a couple years on that LDS mission. He was the #1 player out of the state of Utah his senior year.
Yeah, 26 points a game. Really shoot it.
What do you think of his game, Dan, other than the fact that he can shoot it? Where's the rest of it?
Well, I think he's a good shooter. I won't go great yet, just like I would with a Corey Kispert, but he's got the ability to become a really good shooter. I think he's got to learn how to be able to handle the ball against pressure, initiate offense, because Gonzaga still needs to be able to have somebody who can handle some backup point guard minutes when they handle a team that really gets up and pressures you.
Here's Norvell. Wade again. Jack Beach for three. That's too hard. Loose ball. And controlled by Justin Cotton. He stops and shoots it over Beach. Larson the rebound. Bianca now with 9 rebounds with 7 points.
Just eats up the glass when he's in the game.
4 assists. Wade will shoot it again. Bang! You can tell the stroke is there, can't you?
Oh, he's got a great follow through, great release, but you could tell he's a shooter. He knows guys are going to close, so that little lift fake and a little slide dribble to create some space.
And whistle and a timeout called for the Bison. Jesse Wade now with 6 points. 2 of 4 from behind 3. And he's showing these Zag fans that, hey, I'm here. Bang! Credit Union. Show your Bulldog pride with your Go Zags debit card only at Numerica. Downtown Spokane looking kind of busy tonight. That's Division Street, I'm being told. There's head coach Mark Few. He's got to feel good about what he is. And he's a coach, right? He's always going to be breaking down and looking for things you got to work on. But inside, he's got to understand that this team's a lot better than most of the world thought it was going to be at this point, right?
I think you have a lot more to be pleased with than maybe you anticipated you'd be happy about this early in the year. I think there's no doubt about that. I mean, clearly, look, to Dan's point earlier, they're going to learn a lot about themselves here in about a week.
And the finish there by Desonmu. Here's Wade. And also into the game is Alex Martin, number 5, a redshirt sophomore out of Overland Park, Kansas. And Wade, a deep 3. That's short. And you saw Martin crashing the boards there, and he's fouled.
This is where if you're a guy like Martin or Dan Beach, Jack Beach, not quite sure where your minutes may come from, you want to get yourself 2 points. Finding ways, whether it's crashing the glass like Martin or finding an open area against his own if you're Jack Beach. His dad's name is Dan Beach.
Oh, did you see that screen set by Larson? And great hustle by Wade to save it, but Jakob Larson with a physical screen at the top of the key. Loved seeing that. Here's Martin. Good look. That looked like an old school screen. Like Heat Knicks.
It's like, call it out. Somebody call out the screen.
Let them know it's coming. Well, you know this crowd wants 100. Gonzaga with already 13 makes from behind 3, tying their best number from a year ago as Justin Cotton knocks down the 3-point shot for the Bison.
That's something with this group that you can put out there on the floor, and that's shooters at all 5 spots. All your bigs are skilled, can step out. You've got plenty of options on the bench as far as guys who can stroke the 3.
Larson catch and finish.
And he's got good hands. He's quick to get the ball up. You don't see him often bring it down by his waist or his knees, and he's got a high release on his shot around the rim.
And a foul called here. Larson now a point and a rebound away from a double-double.
Pretty impressive for your second collegiate game.
Absolutely. Following a good game the other night against Texas Southern as well. I think he's proving that he's going to have a role on this team. I don't think it's fully defined yet exactly how many minutes or when he's going to come in. But I think he's showing Coach Few and his staff that, hey, I can contribute.
Time now to announce tonight's player of the game, presented by A to Z Rental. No job is too big or too small. With 8 convenient locations, we rent everything. Let A to Z Rental be your most valuable player. And tonight's player of the game is Zach Norvell. Off the bench, scoring 18 points on 7 of 14 shooting, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. 18 points in 23 minutes.
And a good response from Texas Southern late last week, where he really struggled from the field. 2 of 8 for only 5 points. You'd like to see that response from a young player. You got to have a short memory, Greg, in this business to survive.
Well said.
I suspect that Zach's got a pretty short memory.
Best shooters have the shortest memory. Why do you think I can't remember anything you told me in the first half, Greg? I'll argue it.
It's still a deficit for you, for sure.
Yeah, at some point, I think at some point, Dan, it becomes a disability.
Wade.
Thanks, bud.
Wade with 9. A disability that there's medication for, frankly. And Gonzaga's gone over 100. And here's Jones with a flush. He just did get it over the rim, but it counts.
You've got to be happy for Jones. He's struggled with injuries throughout his time here at GU. Still battling a wrist, but for the most part, looks right. And it's had a nice start to the year.
There's an opportunistic finish there for Ibrahim Desanmu. And you can hear the fans asking everyone to get on their feet. Here's Martin, baseline jumper, smooth and good. There's the 3 by Nate Garvey. And that'll going to do it. 106-69 the final. Well, gentlemen, look, I realize they played Howard, and Howard certainly outgunned here against Gonzaga, but it's the way that they win these games here in the openers. I mean, it's complete domination, in my opinion, on both ends, in all facets of the game.
And this is the kind of domination you would have expected to see last year or Lennox senior, junior year. I mean, teams that are mature, you know what you have coming into the season. To see a young group like this have this kind of start to the year is just impressive. I mean,
you were a cerebral player. You have to love what you see from a team like this young.
Well, I think offensively, we touched on it throughout the show. The IQ has been better than maybe we all thought. But defensively, they're taking scouting reports and applying it. 2 games in, that's impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gonzaga 2-0 to start the season. They win it 106-69. For Richard Fox, Dan Dickow, and the rest of our crew, I'm Greg Heister. Good night from the McCarthy Athletic Center.
There's a lot of factors, I think, that go into it.